Chapter 5. The Field of Pink and Gold. The vast garden is charred in an inferno of jealousy.
Ice Wolf prepares for the festival. Call me Faw.
The flower man trapped in asylum.
Well, guess who's taking your daughter to the festival tomorrow, jerk?
Chris, are you there? Then I shall just leave a message. You are going to the festival tomorrow, aren't you? I just wanted to confirm. Noelle said she's really looking forward to seeing you.
Oh, hi! I didn't see you there. Hi, it's me, Mr. Ditto. Welcome back to another video. Today's topic is Chapter 5 of Deltarune. This is gonna be my, first video on Deltarune, so cut me a little slack with what I'm gonna say, but we got a good one for you today. So I'm just throwing my hat into the ring of what we're gonna see and experience in Deltarune Chapter 5. Now, I don't know how well this video is gonna be received. If by chance it does not do well or people don't like what I have to say, that's totally valid, but this is my personal belief of what Chapter 5 is going to be about, what we're going to see, what we could experience, and even possibly a release date. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Now, without any further delay, why don't we get on into the video, shall we? So we're going to break this video up into two sections. Section 1, what we know. Section 2, what I think. Now, in chapters 1 and 2, there's not much of mention of what's happening in the later chapters, with the exception of, Jevil mentioning the Queen, and Spectre mentioning Mike, and Tenna, and the festival being referenced, but that's about it. Chapters 3 and 4, the festival gets heavily pushed that it's going to be the next day. Not only is the festival being pushed, but Asgore is being pushed into the spotlight like he was in Undertale. Now, he does find a black shard, or have a black shard, when you go into events and he's in Carol's room. So whatever this black shard may be, it's going to be important with Asgore, whether it's the black shard like we picked up, or a shadow crystal, or whatever it could be. We're not entirely sure. One of the prophecy panels you can find in Chapter 4 is of Asgore, and it says, "The Flower Man trapped in asylum." And labeled in the files, it's labeled as Boss 3, because the Queen's Chariot prophecy panel says Boss 1, and then the TV man car, cleaved or whatever, says Boss 2. Moving away from the festival, Asgore, and the prophecy, we have to talk about the Shadow Crystals, because we only have one left. Shawm says, when we go into Castletown in Chapter 4, that we've only have 2 left, that we've collected 3. And we get one from the Church Dark Fountain from Gerson. So we only have 1 left after that, and that's going to be in Chapter 5. Going off of that, Shawm mentions that once we get all 5, he's going to do something nice for us with them, and from what we can assume, it's going to be the Pure Crystal that we can use to turn into the Twisted Sword with the Thorn Ring. Now, how we get the Pure Crystal, from what I can assume, Shawm is going to give us the Pure Crystal after taking all 5 of the Shadow Crystals. But that's just speculation and assumption. We're not entirely sure. Now moving on to my favorite part of this video, what I think is going to be in Chapter 5. Now, let me get this out of the way. This is purely speculation on my part and me assuming and all what I'm coming up with in my head. None of this is confirmed, none of this is canon, none of this is even thought to be even coming out in Chapter 5. This is just what I think. Just hear me out on this, and try not to leave too many hate comments, please. So let's get the obvious out of the way. We're going to Flower King in Chapter 5. That is guaranteed. That is not even a debate. We're going, at some point in Chapter 5, we're going to Flower King and seeing Asgore. Also in Chapter 5, in Flower King, we could get the secret boss. Now, we could get other Dark Worlds in Chapter 5 other than Castletown and Flower King, and then get the secret boss there. But I think we're getting the secret boss in Flower King. And who do I think will be the secret boss? Now, I kind of want Sans, because Inferno of Jealousy, Asgore catches wind, Sans has been, befriending our mom, yada, yada, yada. But an alternate one that I saw by a YouTuber that I'll put up on screen now because I can't remember the name, So I found the video. It's by HeroVortexTCK, and it's why Papyrus will be Chapter 5 Secret Boss Deltarune Theory. Please go give it some love. It's a really good video, and I think it needs some more attention. Anyways, back to the video. Is Papyrus. Why? Hear me out, you ready? Papyrus not only is encouraging in Undertale, with such quotes as he believes in us, even if we don't, in the genocide route. He is just an overall cheery guy. That's why Undyne doesn't let him be a part of the Royal Guard. He's too nice and cheerful. And he wears a scarf, which I'm a firm believer of Ralsei getting their own boss fight in Chapter 5 with a scarf-themed weapon. And who is well known for their scarf? The Great Papyrus! That's who! With his red scarf, he's going to give Ralsei a scarf and tell him to believe in himself and believe that he matters, because Ralsei has been on this depression kick since Chapter 3. While we're on the topic of Papyrus, he can introduce the Blue Soul. Now, I know Toby Fox isn't all about his, consistency with this game, but it would make sense for him to introduce the Blue Soul now, rather than introducing it in Chapter 6 and 7, where it's going to be more integral to the story and more, mainly focused on the story. Because the secret bosses have had the special soul colors. Only the secret bosses. And another thing I want to point out that I saw in another YouTube video that I cannot remember where I found it, and I don't know if I will be able to find it, is that each secret boss has been important or something the fans have wanted for a while, or have been wanting. I can even link it back to Chapter 1, where it's Jevil, we wanted another hard boss. We Spammed the Neil, we wanted a proper Neil fight. Chapter 3, we wanted to fight the Knight at some point. We were ready to fight the Knight, and boom, we got the Knight. Chapter 4, we fight Gerson, and we wanted to fight Gerson in the genocide route of Undertale, and then boom, here we go. Now you may be asking yourself, how does that fit with Papyrus? We've already gotten all we wanted to see with Papyrus. Well, not only do we want to see Papyrus in Deltarune, we never got to see Papyrus' special attack in Undertale, and that's something we kind of wanted to see. So, what better way to do that than have us fight Papyrus in Deltarune as a secret boss, show us his special attack, introduce the Blue Soul, give Ralsei the courage boost that he needed and the morale boost that he needed, and get a secret weapon ready for the final fight in Deltarune. All in one fight. That's just my take on the fight, more or less. Papyrus is going to encourage Ralsei, give us the scarf, bada bing, bada boom, we fight the king, and, we do all this stuff in the rest of Chapter 5. That is what I think, for the secret boss at least. Now, moving away from the secret boss, for the rest of the chapter, I see us at the festival first. That is where we're going to be first. And then we're going to go to the Flower King, realize there is a dark world open there. We're going to bring Noelle with us, and then we're going into that dark world to stop Asgore. I think the Flower King's going to be the first dark world. But we can go to Castletown before then, and then we can visit it afterwards, because another dark world's going to be opened up somewhere else. And then we got to go seal that one. And then I think at the end of the chapter, I think we're gonna either see the start of the roaring, or we're gonna see the Knight getting ready to do the roaring. And I think it's going to start with us going into the shelter, getting tricked by the Knight to go into the shelter, and then we see the roaring happen, or it's about to happen. I think something's going to do with the roaring in the end of Chapter 5, and then our minds are gonna explode how crazy it's gonna be, because we're not expecting the roaring just yet, because we didn't expect to fight the Knight in Chapter 3. The Knight seems like an end-game boss, but that was thrown out the window. So seeing the roaring at the end of Chapter 5, leading into Chapter 6, our feeble little minds could not process what Tricky Tony is doing. Now, time for my prediction on who the Roaring Knight will be. First, let's get this out of the way. Yes, I know Death Knight is a very prominent and very popular theory within the community, and I don't even disprove that. Believe whatever knight candidate you want. Me personally, I'm betting on Rudy Knight, baby. I'm betting on Rudy Knight. Now, I'm not going to go in depth on why I believe Rudy Knight is a thing. Actually, I have 4 comprehensive videos that break down all the evidence for Rudy Knight that I wholeheartedly believe. I'm going to just show them on screen, and I'm going to have the YouTuber names on top of them, just so you know who's who. I recommend checking all of them out because they are phenomenal videos that are super easy to understand, and they basically change your mind when it comes to Rudy Knight. But if you believe Death Knight, Carol Knight, for the 5 people who believe Papyrus Knight, you know what? Hey, more power to you. Just leave it civil in the comments. I know how knight candidates can get when it comes to comment sections, so be nice. Now, in terms of the knight's role, I'm gonna say the knight is gonna be lingering in the background. Basically, it's gonna be more of a Asgore focused Dark World, and I think the knight's gonna appear at the end and cause a potential Dark World or the Roaring, and potentially reveal their identity. I think with their identity, they'll probably take off their mask and we'll be like, oh my god, it was you the whole time. It's gonna be a mind on whoever. It doesn't matter who the candidate for the night is. It's just they're gonna reveal their identity at the end of the chapter, cause the Roaring, and then that's how the chapter ends. Now we have to talk about the weird route and what could happen in this chapter regarding it, because as you know, on the Spent and Sweepstakes page, the number 5 is right there. It plays this little segment here that I'm going to put in. See, as Undertale fans, we automatically picked up on the sound of H.MP3. It's a slowed down version of Hometown. Which, if we think back to Undertale, slowed down versions of tracks usually means death. People have died. In the genocide route, you've wiped out everyone in that area, so it's a slowed down version. Now, I don't think we're going to be killing anyone in Chapter 5, especially since considering that 5 on the page is only a bit bigger than the 4, and the 2 we actually snowgrave someone, and they're not even dead, so it's like, I don't think there's going to be anyone dying. Hey, I just wanted to jump in and say, with Chapter 4, we do give Noelle the Thorn Ring, which is pretty significant, and 5 is bigger than the 4, so something big might actually happen in Chapter 5. Anyways, back to the video. But I think with the weird route, something's gonna happen to where Hometown is gonna be empty. Now, moving away from the weird route, we're now gonna talk about my airball of a release date. See, I think, since I clearly know Tricky Tony and how he operates, he's gonna be releasing Chapter 5, July 25th. What? Now hold on, before you're like, oh, this is too big of an airball prediction. Christmas in July, 7/25. What have we focused on this entire time? December, Christmas. Just trust me, 7/25 will be the release date. Let me just stop you right there, past me. That's just wrong. When I recorded that, it was about beginning of June. As of now, the release date has been announced by Toby Fox himself. It is launching June 24th. So I think we got a little over a week. It's 17th now, so yeah, lovely. We also got some cool screenshots. Throw them up on the screen here. They're pretty cool. Yeah, I was wrong, but not fully. Not fully, I want to say. I'm only a month and a day off, so hey, can't even fault me for that. I was almost on the money. Anyways, I guess I'll round off the video or whatever. I'll leave it to past me. And now we have reached the end of the video. First of all, I want to say thank you guys for watching. This video took way longer for me to make than I thought it would. Also, I want to wish you guys the best of luck playing Chapter 5, because I personally am gonna stream it when it comes out, the day it drops, right before work. So that's gonna be fun. Also, I don't have any low expectations. I trust Toby Fox and what he's gonna do. He's very talented when it comes to making stuff, so I have no doubt in my mind that it's gonna be good. I also have a bingo card that I'm gonna be using. So if you guys want, leave a comment saying, you know, you want the bingo card, and in the stream I'll leave a link in the description for it. But that's only if you guys want the bingo card. I don't mind if it's a no. Yeah, that's the end of my predictions video for Deltarune Chapter 5. Hopefully, whatever Toby cooks up will be spectacular. Whether our theories are right or wrong, I think it's gonna be good regardless. So make sure you like and subscribe if you want to see Deltarune or non-Deltarune content. Click the bell as well if you want to get notified whenever I go live. Check my socials out in the description. Buy the merch if you want. And as always, I will see you guys. I'll see you in that next one. Take care.